I'm wondering if I'm a two-faced economist, if I have a double life as an economist, if I'm not always being honest in my economic analysis. After more than 30 years as a professional economist, I'm now facing a bit of a paradox, perhaps even an intellectual split within my own analysis and solutions. On the one side, I critique the government's economic policies and suggest practical fixes within the existing system. Most of my work, including the videos I've created over the past couple of years, has been of this type. On the other side, I strongly believe that the system itself is so flawed that it needs radical change, that it needs a radical transformation rooted in local decision making, in humanistic and spiritual values, in less consumption, and in simpler, more meaningful lives. This tension isn't just my personal struggle. It reflects a broader question for society. Can we fix our way out of the social and ecological crises we face? Or does real progress require breaking free from the current system altogether? My career has unfolded within the bounds of a neoliberal economic framework, starting in the 1980s when Thatcherism reshaped the field. I was trained to believe in the power of the market, and I accepted this like many in good faith. The environments I worked in, business, industry, government, reinforced these beliefs. But over time, the cracks, the flaws in this ideology became undeniable. Market failures were too frequent, and neoliberal economics outcomes, inequality, environmental degradation, failing public services, there were so many clear signs of its inadequacy. Neoliberal economics is not just flawed, it's ideological. It serves the interest of the wealthy and the powerful. Despite being left-leaning within the mainstream economic spectrum, I critique government policy not out of faith in the current system, but from a recognition that it causes real harm. Take the UK government's more than decade-long austerity measures, which were framed as necessary after the 2008 financial crisis. These policies decimated the welfare state, underfunded public services, and deepened inequality, concentrating wealth further among the elite. Now, much of my analysis offers practical solutions that could make life more bearable in the short term, reforms that could ease the strain on public services or help redistribute wealth more fairly. Yet, I know that these are just band-aids. The deeper truth is that our economic system treats both people and the earth as commodities, measuring success in GDP growth without considering human or environmental costs. My vision is for a radically different system, a bottom-up economy where local communities hold decision-making power, an economy not dominated by elites manipulating public perception through the media to maintain their hold on power, an economy based on well-being, sustainability, and humanistic values. This isn't naive or utopian. There are a growing number of economists who realise we need a new economics. There's an increasing understanding that there are alternative models that prioritise the needs of all while respecting planetary boundaries. So, how do I personally reconcile pushing for reforms within a system that I believe needs dismantling? I guess the answer is pragmatism. I do envision a future built on radical change. But I also know that people are struggling now. The system is broken, but immediate actions can still relieve some of that suffering. Incremental changes like higher taxes on the wealthy to fund public services or support local initiatives. They may not overthrow capitalism, but they can create spaces for alternative approaches to grow. Localism, participatory democracy, cooperative enterprises. There are initiatives that are already taking root within the cracks of the current system. These movements prove that small, meaningful changes can pave the way for a larger shift. What truly sets my vision apart is the role of what you might call spirituality, not as a religious doctrine, but as an understanding of interconnectedness and of shared humanity. An economy grounded in these principles would prioritise compassion, sustainability and collective well-being over individual gain. It would focus on serving people and the planet, not just profit. Reconciling these two approaches, practical reforms and the push for radical change, means holding on to both perspectives at once. We need immediate actions to address today's urgent problems, but we must also keep sight of a long-term vision for systemic transformation. So, although I will be focusing more and more on radical change, I will keep producing videos about pragmatic solutions that would make a difference today. This isn't just my story, by the way. It's a question for anyone who wants a more just and a more sustainable world. Can we find a way to balance the urgent need for reform with the larger vision of revolution? I believe we can. Let's change the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.